Welcome, school committee. Mr. Franco, Mr. Walker, Mr. Corbett, teachers, families, and friends. The year was 1980, and 86 shining new faces appeared at Shaker Lane School. We were eager to start learning, and Mr. O and Mr. M seemed to be exciting new kindergarten friends. By second grade, we were proudly adding, subtracting, flaunting our scientific skills. I mean, what could be more exciting to a second grader than growing monarch butterflies? Ours were, of course, the best, most beautiful butterflies ever. We realized in third grade that our class was surely destined for greatness. However, by the fourth grade, the forces of the universe started to turn against us. Our numbers were suddenly down to 76, and the worst was yet to come. What was Mr. Covell thinking? How could he do this to us? The bottom floor? We were the oldest, wisest, most mature class. The fourth graders always had a top floor classroom. He just patted us kindly on the head and said reorganization was the reason. We grudgingly spent fourth grade on the bottom floor. It was an ominous sign. The year was 1985, and we had reached the middle school. We were anxious to see if we would be split up from our friends in the house system, and excited to take on the responsibilities of changing classes. By the end of fifth grade, we were seasoned middle schoolers. In our sixth grade year, after much fundraising and planning, we were looking forward to going to nature's classroom far away on Thompson's Island. 5 days, Monday through Friday, away from our parents. But the forces of nature had it in for us this time. The howling winds of Hurricane Hugo cut short our stay and sent us home a day and a half early. We should have started to read all the clues that were mounting up and been prepared for what was about to happen. But the rest of sixth grade went smoothly, so we just dismissed the past. We made a comfortable transition to seventh grade. We were in the same building and used to changing classes. But then it happened again. This time, the forces of space were against us. The year was 1988, and we were to become eighth graders. Not as the big shots of the middle school, but as the underdogs in the high school. This had to be the most appalling, dreadful, and devastating indignity forced on us. And we were going to suffer many inequalities as a result. Our class wasn't going to be able to take part in Shadow Day or Student Government Day, and we lost out on the opportunity to graduate in front of the whole school. But worst of all, we were never to be the oldest, wisest, most mature class in the middle school. This was worse than being relegated to the bottom floor in fourth grade. Why was this happening? Did the whole school system have it in for us? Mr. Franco just patted us gently on the back and sent us to the high school. Reorganization again. This time, we spent eighth grade lost and confused in a new school. We had had it. Our freshman year started with a mere 52 strong, and we had a choice to make, whether to give in to bad luck or make our own breaks. Even though we had no money, our determined class decided to work together and make the most of our next 4 years. We started to realize that coming to the high school a year early might not have been so bad. It gave us a head start. We had already adapted to the school and were ready to take on more important issues. Mrs. Moran, Mrs. Jewett, and Miss Richard, our class advisors, helped us build a treasury. We were an innovative class. We held small yard sales, a small yard sale during homecoming game, sold seasonal candy, and organized the first ever Mr. LHS pageant, which was a great success. And who but the class of 1993 would yell NESTLES at a pep rally instead of the traditional VICTORY? Junior and senior year brought on heightened academic pressures. SATs, the infamous criticals, college applications, and the anticipation of getting accepted to the schools of our choice. But we were prepared. We gritted our teeth and took the tests, wrote the papers, filled out the applications, and got into the schools we wanted. We just did it. One small letdown being the first senior class not to win the Spirit Pumpkin at the homecoming pep rally did little to take away the achievements of our senior year. Our class has made a difference in many ways. Members of our class took an active part in leadership roles in sports, band, and the regional student government. Some class members had leads in school musicals, such as Grease, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum, and Bye Bye Birdie. And we set up a committee in the student council to successfully pass a senior privilege. We have proven that we are not only the oldest, but we are the wisest, most mature class. Looking back at our 13 years in Littleton, we see that our class has learned from every misfortune handed us. We have not learned to be discouraged at things beyond our control, and not to take charge of things we can control. We realize that you cannot just sit back and let things happen. You need to be an active member of society in order to leave your mark. The year is 1993, and here sits in front of you a class of 45 future mathematicians, writers, and scientists. We have proven that bigger doesn't necessarily mean better. Despite being the smallest class to graduate from LHS in the past 35 years, we have pulled together, kept our spirit, and followed our own directions. Surely we have been energetic and enterprising. We've broken the mold. We've left our mark. And now, more than ever, we're ready to take on the future.
Welcome. Mr. Franco, Mr. Walker, members of the school committee, teachers, parents, relatives, friends, peers, thank you for coming tonight. And thank you for everything that you have given to us that has brought us here to where we are today. Here at Littleton Junior Senior High School, we have shared many times together, both good and bad. We have learned a lot and become young adults with your support. In thinking about what I want to say today, I had absolutely no idea where to begin. We have experienced so much, but quickly it seems so far behind us. Yet one concept stands alone. We have each grown into a unique individual. Recently, I ran across the words of Henry David Thoreau. He suggests to the world, be yourself, not your idea of what you think is somebody else's idea of yourself. He was right. I feel that here in Littleton, we have been given the chance to find out who we really are, not just expected to fit into a mold or to fulfill preconceived ideas. Littleton has been a very supportive place in which to explore our personalities and become our true selves. It is probably fair to say that all 45 of us have been encouraged by teachers and friends to think independently and to listen to who we are deep in our hearts. Because Littleton High is a small school, none of us have gotten lost behind a number or just become a face in the crowd. We have been free to grow and to flourish under teachers who are able to encourage each one of us of our small class as a separate individual. From the adventures during nature's classroom in the 6th grade to the teamwork and exhilaration while tackling the high ropes course earlier this spring, my class has been encouraged to meet new challenges. We have learned to listen to our hearts for direction. We have learned to believe in ourselves. In thinking about my class, I thought of an analogy. I like to think of our class as a collection of works comprised of several volumes, each one being different in its own right. To the untrained eye, we all look relatively the same, but within each of our covers, a unique story can be found. The volumes of our class range greatly in their content and intensity. Some stories concentrate on sports or relationships, while others may focus more on politics or music. Each one is different. Similar covers or titles may reveal totally diverse adventures. The sagas told within can be heart-wrenching or funny, and every story may touch upon fear, shyness, brutality, innocence, risk-taking, or human desire. And the heroes of these novels, the class of 1993, each possesses his or her own special courage. Each of them is seeking their own individuality. Littleton has given each one of us the opportunity to write the chapters of our lives with as much artistic freedom as possible. We have shared many experiences through which we have become richer by appreciating and learning from the differences in one another. But realistically, our stories have just begun. Now that collection of works comprised of these volumes must be dispersed. We will now be read and studied for our differences and experiences by others in the future. Jobs, colleges, or the armed services will carry us to new readers and new challenges. Our years in Littleton have been a good basis in encouraging our futures. We have gained strength and maturity to help us seek our destinies. Again, Thoreau's suggestion to be yourself has let us find that special individual within. We know we are ready to handle whatever the world has in store for us. And so, to the class of 1993, I wish you all the very best in the world. Never fear to be proud of who you really are and who Littleton has let you become. I bid you farewell and good luck as you face the wonders that life holds for each one of us, each unique individual. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. My first reaction when I heard that I would be expected to speak at graduation was, why are they punishing me like this? For I had no idea what to say, and addressing a crowd of my peers, family, instructors, and others seemed to be a stiff price to pay for all of my effort in school. With these negative thoughts flowing through my head, it was easy to put off writing the speech until this week, when I realized that Friday would be June 4th. By Tuesday, when I boarded the bus that would take me to Maine for the senior class trip, I was panicking.
My only hope was that, like Thoreau, I would find some inspiration in nature. In the end, though, it wasn't incredible scenery that spoke to me. It was a classmate who jokingly suggested that I speak about our trip. I didn't take this too seriously at first because at the time I thought of our trip as only entertainment. But when I saw everyone's triumphant faces after braving the Whitewater Rapids, I realized that what I experienced on the river taught me valuable lessons to use in life and reinforced some of my already held beliefs. It all started in the morning of the actual river trip when we woke up to cold and windy conditions with a forbidding overcast sky. No one used this, however, as an excuse to skip the river, and no one even really complained very much. We all made the best of a potentially dismal situation and compensated for the temperature by simply renting wetsuits, thinking that we would get wet anyway, so it didn't really matter if it rained. What could have been a major disappointment was made into positive experience through optimism, determination, and enthusiasm. After we put on our wetsuits, our guides explained the safety rules of the river and made us put on our life jackets. We didn't really want to listen or wear the constricting and oh-so-flattering life jackets. But once we were in the middle of the roughest part of the rapids, I'm sure everyone was glad to know what to do and to have the jackets on. Once again, we faced the reality that people in a particular area usually, though not always, know what they're talking about. Someday, it may benefit us to have listened. At least it couldn't hurt. Also, even with the best laid plans, it's always wise to have something to fall back on. After we carried our raft into the water, our guide told us to start rowing. We all thought no problem and started vigorously rowing, thinking that we could show him a thing or two. After all, we were soon to be Littleton High School graduates. However, this approach was not very productive because we soon beached our raft by the side of the river. Once we got rowing in sync and directed the raft into the proper stream, we realized the importance of teamwork. We went further and faster when we rowed together. It's a fact that we need friends to support us and need to know how to cooperate to get ahead in most fields. Also, a little humility is a good thing to have, as no one likes to help a person who thinks that they know everything. Whitewater rafting has been compared to a roller coaster ride, but no seatbelt, which is a fairly accurate comparison, but no seatbelt will hold you in the raft. Staying in the raft is your responsibility. If you fall out, someone may try to pull you back in, but it's up to you to keep from panicking and to grab on to a helping hand or rope. After today, our education, career, and future are our responsibility. No one will call our parents anymore if we skip a day of classes or work. This freedom can be both exhilarating and frightening at the same time. Many of the class of '93, you have to learn to confront your fear before it paralyzes you. Many of the class of '93 did this 2 days ago on the Kennebec River. There we learned that sometimes you have to dig in and pull yourself through the rough parts, and sometimes you have to hold on for dear life. Most of all, you've got to give it all you've got to triumph, whether it be rafting a river or climbing the ladder of success, which we are about to choose. Thank you.
Members of the school committee, town officials, Mr. Walker, teachers, parents, friends and relatives of the graduates and graduates. It is a pleasure to be a part of this significant community celebration, the culmination of an endeavor that began 13 years ago. As has already been said, this is the smallest class to graduate from Littleton High School in 35 years. There may not be quantity here, but there is quality. The class of 1993 has truly been outstanding. They are blessed with an abundance of academic and athletic abilities. They are thoughtful young men and women with a keen sense of social responsibility. Class President Kristen Melander has told you of the tumultuous journey of this class as they went through our school system. What she did not tell you, because she does not know, is that the teachers and the administration planned the whole thing, except for the hurricane. But we planned it for a noble purpose. We wanted to build character, and it worked. Please be assured that we take little credit for the outstanding character and integrity of this class. Full credit rightfully belongs to their parents. As educators, we have a very clear understanding that the primary influence on youth is the home. We are an important but secondary influence. Parents, we congratulate, applaud, and thank you for being successful parents and for giving us the privilege of working with and for your children. It has truly been a pleasure. Graduation causes us to think of the future. And when we think of the future and try to be hopeful about what it will bring, our thoughts naturally turn to young people like these graduates. They are worthy of every bit of love, encouragement, and financial support that we can give to help prepare them for the future. They face a very different set of challenges than the last two generations. Their parents and teachers coped with the challenges and uncertainties of communism, the Cold War, and the threat of nuclear confrontation. Their grandparents successfully met the challenges presented by the Great Depression, totalitarianism, and World War II. Hopefully, the people of the earth have seen the last of World War, but they have not seen the last of stubborn and frightening problems that defy resolution. Indeed, the challenges presented to Americans in the form of World War II and the Cold War pale in comparison to the challenges that await these graduates. You cannot solve the problems of pollution and hazardous waste by shooting at them. You cannot bomb poverty. You cannot blast AIDS. And God knows you cannot blow up the worst of them all, that ugly array of diseases of the human mind and spirit: ignorance, intolerance, prejudice, and racism, each of which brings violence to places as far away as Bosnia and South Africa, to places not so far away like Los Angeles and the streets of Boston, and sometimes, sadly, even closer to homes and schools in nice, quiet suburbs. These problems pose a challenge to young people to serve and provide leadership by finding ways of engaging in serious programs of community service. Graduates, if you want inspiration for community service, listen to what George Bernard Shaw, the great English playwright, had to say. I am convinced that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it whatever I can. For the harder I work, the more I live. I rejoice in life for its own sake. Life is no brief candle for me. It is a splendid torch, which I got to hold for a moment. And I want to make it burn as brightly as I possibly can before turning it over to future generations. Graduates, tonight your torch burns brightly. To maintain its brilliance, you must continue to learn and to prepare yourselves well. You are going to have to do better than we are doing, and do better and be better than we are. I am confident that you can and will do just that. Exceed our accomplishments, eclipse the level of excellence that we have achieved, and in so doing, solve the problems that we, thus far, have failed to solve. The fact that you have been educated in this fine community, which supports excellent schools, heightens your responsibility. For there are thousands of people your age who have grown up all over the world and in our own country in environments and under conditions that we have trouble even imagining. Not many have had the opportunity that has been extended to you by your parents, your teachers, and the good people of Littleton. The test of your generation's character is not what you're going to do for those who have much, but what you do for the growing number of those who have so little. Leave here with the knowledge and assurance that we who have had the privilege of working for you have confidence in your ability to do what is right and just while reaching for new levels of excellence. Tonight, as you are assembled for the last time as the class of 1993, I extend to each of you, on behalf of all who have served you in the Littleton Public Schools, our sincere and best wishes for success and happiness in all that you do. Thank you.
We'll do a little housekeeping here. I'll be right with you. When your name is called, please come forward. The Foster and Florence Kimball Trust, Girl Scout Troop 583, Littleton PTSA, 16-Footer Square Dance Club, and Littleton All Sports Boosters award scholarships to Kristen Melander. Cooperative Bank of Concord, F.M. Kimball Trust, Littleton Scholarship Trust, Ann L. Clancy Memorial, Lieutenant Colonel Edward J. Groskowski, Idlewild Farm Incorporated, and the David F. Rouse Employee Memorial award scholarships to Kira Panish. Home Plate Restaurant, Littleton Independent, Lord and Fuel, Mary Shepherd Farms, Neshoba Package Store, Constance A. Smithwood, and Littleton All Sports Boosters award scholarships to Jason Pierce. Uniserve Incorporated, Volunteer Insurance Agency, Littleton Rotary Club, and the Littleton League of Women Voters award scholarships to Anna Allen. Littleton Sub Shop, Realty World, Knox and Associates, P&L Machine Senior Citizens Club, and Very Fine Products Incorporated award scholarships to Genevieve Butler. The Albert J. Sargent Trust, Stephen Gaumont Memorial, and Donlands award scholarships to Nathaniel Clifford. F.M. Kimball Trust, Littleton Scholarship Trust, Dr. James Carroll, and North Middlesex Savings Bank award scholarships to Jean Dennehy. Wilson Pharmacy Incorporated, Wood Stove and Fireplace Shop, and Littleton Scholarship Trust award scholarships to Melissa Grant. The Alumni Fund, Dr. Henry and Marjorie Harvey, Littleton Lumber, Miller Automotive, and Very Fine Products award scholarships to Colleen Halloran. The Bradford Sampson Trust, Fencer Electric, McLaughlin Sunoco, and Fieldstove Farm award scholarships to Lisa Swanson. The Littleton Junior High Student Council awards a scholarship to Laura Demetric. The Paul L. Rocheleau Memorial Scholarship is presented to Kristen Kenny. The Littleton Educators Association awards a scholarship to Eileen Robinson. The Littleton All Sports Boosters award a scholarship to Kenneth Ham. The Littleton Patrolmen's Association awards a scholarship to Jocelyn Cassio. The Albert J. Sargent Trust and the American Legion Auxiliary award scholarships to Eric Levitt. The Littleton All Sports Boosters award a scholarship to Lee Dungy. The Littleton Patrolmen's Association awards a scholarship to Jennifer Robertson. The Albert J. Sargent Trust and the Flag Fund award scholarships to Peter Began. Littleton Family Medicine, Lyons Automotive, Mobile Sales and Service Incorporated, Northern Bank, Littleton Rotary Club, and Frederick Gallery award scholarships to Wendy Harding. Hewlett-Packard Christie Hartwell Memorial, Dr. and Mrs. Kenneth Amenworth, and Littleton Scholarship Trust award scholarships to Michelle Weatherby. Littleton Grange Youth Center Fund, Sean Kenny Memorial, and Dufour's Pumping Service award scholarships to Brandon Rigoli. Idlewild Farm Incorporated, Littleton Senior High School Student Council, the Littleton Chapter of SAD, Howard M. Dowd Fund, Eleanor Cummings Scholarship, Thomas Arison, CPA, Bates Finishing Supply, and Littleton Limousine award scholarships to Jennifer Zielinski. The Fowler Music Award, Littleton Motor Court, Northeast Floor Covering, Programmed Test Sources Incorporated, Pizza Express and more, and Littleton Scholarship Trust award scholarships to Jonathan McCumber. The Bradford Sampson Trust Archers Mobile Center, Badger Funeral Homes, and Cleveset Civic Association award scholarships to Nancy Murdoch. Albert J. Sargent Trust, Fred C. Church Insurance, and Frank P. Lacey Memorial award scholarships to Benjamin Tracy. The Brenda R. Boschetto Littlest Tiger Memorial Award for Most School Spirit is presented to Brandon Rigoli. The Tandy Technology Scholar Outstanding Student Award and the English and Mathematics Awards are presented to Kira Panish. The Tandy Technology Scholar Outstanding Student Award and the Science and Foreign Language Awards are presented to Eric Levitt. The Business Award is presented to Nathaniel Clifford. The Home Ecology Award is presented to Colleen Halloran. The Music Award is presented to Jonathan McCumber. The Physical Education Award is presented to Lee Dungy. The Art Award is presented to Brandon Ford. The Technology Education Award is presented to Kenneth Ham. The Social Studies Award is presented to Jean Dennehy. The Salutatory Award is presented to Eric Levitt. And the Valedictory Award is presented to Kira Panish. The amount of scholarships awarded to the Littleton Junior Senior High School graduating class and alumni this year totals $48,000.
To the about-to-be graduated class of 1993, congratulations. You have attained your goal. You have worked hard and played well, and you did it with enthusiasm and style. Congratulations also to your parents who nurtured you to becoming educated ladies and gentlemen. Your success is their reward. Congratulations to your grandparents who at least contributed to your gene pool and perhaps did some nurturing also. And to your teachers and other educators, all appreciate their fine efforts. They worked hard in delivering your education. We owe thanks also to the people of Littleton, who generously support our schools, both financially and with encouragement. Your excellent education didn't just happen. It first required an excellent general government that brings stability to our town and a lack of controversy. After that's in place, your devoted parents, willing taxpayers, you as eager students, and competent, caring educators. We are fortunate that Littleton had all these ingredients for you. In closing, best wishes to all of you. May you enjoy good health and good luck as your lives continue. And now on to the diplomas.
First group of graduates to receive your diplomas, please stand. Colleen Catherine Halloran. Larry P. Shenshu. Nancy J. Murdoch. Mark S. Feth. Anna Lee Allen. Joshua D. Mansfield. Lee Ann Dungy. Nathaniel Damon Clifford. Jocelyn Catherine Cassio. John Eric Bottenhorn. Michelle Elizabeth Coulter. David Eric Adams. Kira B. Panish. Brandon James Rigoli. Wendy Marie Harding. Michael F. Quinn. Laura A. Ann Demetric. Eric Weston Levitt. Jean Marie Dennehy. Jonathan Patrick McCumber. Jennifer A. Zielinski. Martin G. Rivas. Genevieve Megan Butler. Peter Jeremiah Began. Elizabeth Kathleen Dixon. Jason Allen Pierce. Sandra Ann Johnson. Richard Lesser. Lisa J. Swanson. Benjamin J. Tracy. Kristen June Melander. Kenneth A. Ham. Emily W. Nee. Sean M. McGuire. Michelle Lee Weatherby. Brandon Hayes Ford. Kristen Laurel Kenny. Daniel Laurel Turvo. Jennifer Rose Fuller. Kimberly Ann Doyle. Jennifer D. Sarwin. Jennifer A. Robertson. Melissa Ann Grant. Birgit Kran. Eileen Teresa Robinson. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you the class of 1993.